Hi everybody, welcome back to the Drunken Bull Ranch. I'm Reed. So, today, I bet you can't guess what I'm doing. There's the swather. What I'm doing is I'm cutting the front pasture. Let me show you. Okay, you can see out there, it's not very tall, but there is a bunch of weeds in it. And I want to get those cut down so that the seeds get off the field. And I've got the chickens right there. So I'm just going to cut around them and then I'll brush hog that down later. But I kind of wanted to give you a little more in-depth on this. So let me show you. I have the little LS 4150. It's the XR4150 right there. It is a 50 horsepower tractor. Now this is a Hesston 1120 Swather. Now I'm going to tell you that this is a sickle bar rather than a mowing deck. You can see the sickle bar down in there. The teeth actually don't look too bad. And for the last cut of the year, I'm going to let it go. But this particular swather only requires like 35 or 36 horses to run it. That's why I have it. Now, I saw a video the other day of a guy cutting hay, and he did not have these guys right here, right there, which is basically it funnels the hay to where it comes out the back right here. Now, I honestly, in, I don't know, 30-something years of cutting hay. I started when I was 8 years old, and I'm going to be 47 this year. So, yeah. Anyway, in all those years, I have never, ever adjusted those. Not once. Now, I know some guys do. I don't necessarily care, because if I don't have to roll the hay, I'm not going to. It saves me on diesel and time. But basically, what happens is that part rotates, pulls the hay into the cutter blade, and then it goes back through the crimper, which is that guy right down there. Those are the crimpers. Let me see if I can get you a better view. This is not working out well. Okay, so those are the crimpers. So it crimps it so that it dries it a little faster. Now, this one is not got does not have a hydraulic swing or anything. It's just this pin right here, and here in a second it'll pop back and into that hole. Now I could go to this hole, but I don't really want to, so it should be fine. But I do need to get this pin out, which is the safety pin, so that it doesn't drop while you're driving down the road or storing it or whatever. So let me get the tractor started and we'll get that out of there. Okay, so I'm in the tractor. I got it started. The window's dirty, I'm sorry. Let me hit this button. Okay, now it's the swather picked up so that I can get that pin out. Let me go get it done. So I usually just hook it with the hammer, pull the pin, and the pin just flew away over here. And then I just take the hammer and figures. Doesn't want to come out. Come on. There. It just goes right in here. Just a second. Okay, let me put the pin back in. So there's just a spot where you can put it to keep it for next time. And there we go. So now everything's greased up, and oh, I should mention this hydraulic ram only has one line. Basically bleeds in and bleeds out, or it forces it out and bleeds back in. But it's a pretty good swather. So we'll go ahead and get started cutting. Oh, the other thing that I should mention that is an absolute must-have: ice cold Dr. Pepper in a, I guess it's coffee mug, but it doesn't leak, so that's why I have it. All right, we'll get started. Okay, so I should tell you that we do actually have a 15% chance of rain today. I'm not too worried about it. Usually 15% means we're not gonna get squat. So, let me show you. That's the weedy section that I was talking about. We got the swather right there. Okay, now, when running your swather, this little line right here is 540 RPMs. That's what that swather is designed to run at. So we need to throttle up. Okay, and this little button is, hang on, this is our PTO, which turns the swather on. There we go. Okay, we're gonna lower it down. Alright. Take the brake off. I'm gonna close that window so it's a little quieter and you can hear me. But here we go. I'm sorry, the window is a little bit dirty. And what this is called is opening up the field. So I cut once around the outside, then I turn around, do it the other way. And I actually go around twice more, so I have 4 rows cut for my turnaround, and then we should be good. And I'm actually thinking I might slow this down just a little bit for this outside row, but it seems to be cutting good. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm really doing a lousy job of filming because I'm watching what I'm doing. Now I'm also going to tell you that the AC in this tractor quit again. I believe that I have a leak in the refrigerant, so I've got to find that and fix it. But for the moment, we're going to cut the hay anyway. There you go. Cutting pretty good. Okay, now I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing for a minute so that I don't run over a water riser or something, because they're along this side of the field. And like I said, I don't expect to get a whole lot of hay off of this, but something's better than nothing. I'm gonna open this door. Oh, there's a breeze. So it looks nice. Oh, there's a bump. I'm gonna fix that this winter. This outside row is a little rough. Being honest, it's actually more than a little rough. It's a lot of rough. At least through that section. But again, the majority of the reason why I'm cutting this isn't for the hay, it's to get rid of the weeds. Like I said, by the time I'm done, it's probably not even worth cutting. But I don't figure that the cows will graze it off or the steers, so might as well cut it and get what we can out of it. Anyway, I'll continue and come back to you. Okay, so the field is cut. Here you go. The animals all think it's time for dinner because I got the turkeys gobbling, the chickens are following me around, and the dogs are barking. But, yeah, the field is... So, now, because this is the last cut of the year, or at least it's the last cut that I'm gonna make, I'm going to wash out the swather, and that way it doesn't rust over the winter, things like that, because I found some gopher mounds out there, and so there's dirt and stuff in the swather. Now, in regards to the weather, as I said, we had a 15% chance. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it is drizzling right now. But it's not gonna last very long. So, it should be just fine. Grass is pretty forgiving. Honestly, it's Tuesday, and the reason I cut it today is because I wanted to bale it and get it stacked this weekend. And this was the last day with any percent of rain. And like I said, give it 10-15 minutes, this is gonna be gone, and it's not gonna hurt the grass at all. So, anyway, getting back to what I was saying, if you look in there, you can see that there is dirt from hitting those gopher mounds. And the blade's cleaned up pretty good. Looks like I might have a couple that I gotta replace next year. But, due to all of the rock picking that I've done, I haven't broke a tooth yet since I've been here. That's 4 years? Yeah, 4 years, give or take. Anyway, one other thing I was gonna show you. This hose, as you can see, it's pretty well wore out. I mean, it's a braided hose, so I will probably have to replace that next year. It should look like this one, and it looks like this. But it hasn't started leaking yet. But in the interest of it not leaking, I will probably replace it before spring. Now, the other thing that I wanted to tell you is that these old swathers, if you can get a hold of one that's in fairly decent shape, and you're just cutting 10-15 acres like I'm doing, if you maintain it, it will last a really long time. They are relatively simple to fix. I mean, there's just not a whole lot to them, so anybody can fix them as long as you can get parts. The newer you can get, the better. Like I said, with the small tractors and the low horsepower, I recommend doing a sickle mower, which is what this is. But I mean, if you've got the horsepower, go ahead and do the sorry, I'm putting this on the stand. Go ahead and do the rotary if you'd like. But yeah, for the size of property that I got, this works great. It was relatively inexpensive. I think we spent $3 grand on it, and thus far it's worked pretty darn good. Anyway, let me get this thing washed out, and we'll continue from there. Okay, so I'm not even gonna get the pressure washer out. I'm just gonna use the spray nozzle. That should be adequate. Okay, so just so you can see it, here we go. That's all I need to do, is just clean that out. I will probably blow it off with the blower, but for, how to say this, for storage for the winter, that piece where the blade runs, so right down in here, that piece, I mean, it's not really replaceable. You can weld stuff in there, you can do all sorts of stuff, but if that rusts out, you got a major problem. So I always like to just wash it out before winter. Sometimes if it's really bad during the summer, I'll wash it out then too, but just between cuttings, just because I don't want that to rust. I will actually, before it snows, I'll actually do some oil changes and whatnot on my vehicles, and I'll pour oil in there just to keep it lubed up so that next spring I don't have a problem. Anyway, I guess that's about all for this video. So as always, support your local farmers, have a wonderful day, and I will chat at you next time. And yeah, it's still raining, but shouldn't hurt it at all. Talk to you later.